goodness, let's see. Have I got sound there? It's been a while. And okay, I feel like I'm kind of out of focus, but I'm going to go with it. I am out of focus. How weird is that? Can I go back to when I go too far? Oh well, I'll just sit here like this, and that's okay. That's okay. It's good to be back. Good to be back from the beach. Had a good, my audio is odd. Audio. Okay, hang on. Is it too loud? Not loud enough. Hang on. And that's that. Let's check. Sound, audio, how's that? Oh, hang on. I know what's wrong. God dang. Thank you, Larry. Try hooking up the microphone. That might help. I bet you that helps. That's probably better. Oh my goodness. See, get me a few days off and I lose all sense of what I'm supposed to do. That's okay. It's funny because today is what would be my granddaughter's last day of school. I cannot hear you. Audio, sound preferences. Hang on. Sound preferences. Input. There you go. That is supposed to be working right there. Is it? Is it? No. You're fine. Okay, good. Cool. There we go. All right. So today is what would be my granddaughter's last day of school. Okay. So end of the school year, and it's so funny because I literally did what I always, the last day of school, kids are gone. I mean, I always had to come back like the next day and close up my classroom, but boy, as soon as the kids were gone out that day, I kind of went into spiral down mode. And it was just, so today, I mean, literally all those years of teaching, when I realized it was her last day of school, it was like my body said, oh, you can shut down today, even though I was back and ready to all recharged. No, not me. Anyway, so didn't have everything quite together. And, oh gosh, hang on. I had seat up. There we go. Get my seat back. Somebody's been sitting in my chair while I've been gone. Oh, I had a great time with my sisters. Sister Summer Solstice celebration at Mo Clips was beautiful. The weather was great. The view from Ocean Crest was wonderful. We went through Seabrook, which is a little town that actually was established in 2004 and has grown up to be this crazy, it's just huge, like little shopping centers. It's a very cute little town, and you think it's just right there off the side of the road, but man, it goes back farther. And anyway, so I'll turn everything all up there. Anyway, volume up. And so that's the way it is. And I'm going to, so today, it was just good to be back. And I had two books that I wanted to share. One of them is called Beagle, and one is The Invisible Boy. And I'm not so sure I haven't already shared The Invisible Boy, but I'll do that one first. And I kind of like the way that illustrations go from black and white to this. The Invisible Boy is done by, yes, it is written by Trudy Ludwig. That's right. That's who it's written by. And here she is. There. Okay. Let's get this a little bigger so you guys can see more. There. So it is her whole idea is about books that making a difference in kids' lives, one book at a time. And I love this little creative license. Trudy Ludwig, age 7, expires never. So she's received, great reviews for what she's done in her books about inclusion and bullying and how addressing peer aggression and friendship issues. It's just one of those really wonderful books. And if I read it once, I apologize if it's come back, but I didn't find it in my list, so I don't think I have. And if I have, it was a long time ago, and you might not have heard it. But The Invisible Boy is the one, and it's illustrated by Patricia Barton, who, here she is, another creative license. Patricia Hansen, she earned a BFA in studio art from UT in Austin, where she lives today, and her family, and a good dog, Archer. Her picture book illustrations have twice been accepted into the Society of Illustrators Original Art exhibit. She also received an outstanding portfolio certificate in the 5th grade. So the first book she says she ever owned was One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. So I love that. Anyway, so the book, I hope you enjoy this book because it's a really kind of a special little book about a little boy who is invisible. Not really, but that's how he kind of feels. Let me go get the iPad to show up here. There. Oops. Okay. Unplug the iPad, bring it back in. There it is. The Invisible Boy by Patrice Barton. Illustrated by Patrice Barton. It's by Trudy Ludwig. And the illustrations are done using pencil sketches and painted digitally. So for you artists out there, take a look at this because it's a really interesting way of the transition happens within this. Can you see Brian, the invisible boy? Even Miss Carlotti has trouble noticing him in her classroom. She's too busy dealing with Nathan and Sophie. Nathan has problems with what Miss Carlotti calls volume control. He uses his outside voice inside too much. Sophie whines and complains when she doesn't get her way. Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space. Brian doesn't. When the bell rings for recess, Micah and JT take turns choosing kids for their kickball team. The best players get picked first, then the best friends of the best players, then the friends of the best friends. Only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping. JT glances in Brian's directions and just as quickly looks away. We've got enough players for each team, he tells the others. Let's play ball. In the cafeteria, Madison and her friends talk about her birthday party. The rope swing over the pool was awesome, says JT. Yeah, so was the water side, adds Fiona. That was the best pool party ever. I'm so glad you guys had fun, says Madison. Everybody did except Brian. He wasn't invited. At choosing time, while the other kids play board games and read, Brian sits at his table doing what he loves to do best. He draws fire-breathing dragons scaling tall buildings. And the fire-breathing dragon, the guy says, "Thank you for toasting my marshmallow." Space aliens locked in intergalactic battles. See something? That's what I wanted. Greedy pirates digging for treasure. And superheroes with the power to make friends wherever they go. Hi, friend, have a cookie. On Monday morning, Miss Carlotti introduces Justin, a new student, to the class. Brian smiles shyly at him. Some of the other kids sneak looks at Justin, trying to figure out if he's cool enough to be their friend. They haven't quite made up their minds yet. At lunch, Madison and JT watch Justin eat with chopstick. "What's that?" asks Madison as she points at Justin's foods. "It's bulgogi." What? Bulgogi. It's Korean barbecued beef. My grandma made it for me. It's really good. Do you want to try some? No way. I'd eat boogergi. And the kids laugh. All of them, that is, except Brian. He sits there wondering which is worse, being laughed at or feeling invisible. The next day, when Justin goes to his cubby to put away his backpack, he notices a piece of paper with his name on it. "Justin, I thought the bulgogi looked good. Brian." Yum. Sorry. The ding dong. I got a ding there. Family message came through. At morning recess, Brian finds a piece of chalk on the ground and starts drawing away. "You're Brian, right?" "Yeah. Thanks for the note." "Hey, Justin," Emilio calls out from the tetherball court. "You're up next." "Sorry, I gotta go," says Justin. "By the way, that's a really cool drawing," he adds before taking off. Back in class, Miss Carlotti asks the kids to team up in 2s or 3s for a special project. The kids scurry around the room to pair off. Brian heads toward Justin. "I'm already with Justin," says Emilio. "Find somebody else." Brian looks at the floor, wishing he could draw a hole right there to swallow him up. "Miss Carlotti said we can have up to 3 people in our group. We're only 2. Come on, Emilio, let him work with us." "Okay, I guess." Miss Carlotti gives the class directions for your project. Your assignment is to work together to write a story about what you see in that photograph. Use your imagination and have fun. "Whoa, cool," says Emilio. "What kind of people do you think would live in houses like that?" "I don't know, but I bet Brian could draw them to go with our story," says Justin. Brian smiles as he takes out his lucky pen. And they start drawing and imagining and writing the narrator. Hi, I'm the narrator. And if you're wondering why a pirate got the part of a narrator, I will tell you. It's all in the agent. Well, now with the tale. The crooked story we made up on the spot. The crooked story we made up on the spot. Look at their costumes. It's lunchtime again. Brian's least favorite part of the day. Another 20 long minutes of kids talking and laughing with everyone else but him. "Brian!" he hears someone shout. "Hey, Brian, over here!" Brian turns and sees Justin waving him over. Emilio nods at Brian as he makes room for him at the table. Maybe, just maybe, Brian's not so invisible after all. Have some questions for discussion in the classroom at the end. Great teamwork they got on their assignment. But what I love about this story is how the illustrations show, like in this one, when you see Brian half and half, the color that he starts to have, and then he starts to fade in and out, where he has some color to him, but then he's black and white when he's feeling the compliment, and then feeling invisible, and then he starts to come back. I just think it's wonderful. So cute. Hey, loving. I know, aren't these illustrations just really beautiful? Okay, let me see. I'm going to go back and check. My sound's okay. Now better. Tam has a bit of a leg. Okay. Larry's here. Gail. Good. And Tamara's here. Thanks. That's good to be back. It really is. Gorgeous illustrations of this. I think they're just so simple and beautiful in this. I'll put them on. You can kind of see them individually. Even on this one, where there's the photograph of the school that they're going to illustrate. Need to send out Batman signals to get those other guys back in. Yeah. Yeah. I love this one where he wants to draw a hole in the ground for him to fall into. And what he's drawing, the things that he draws are in color on the ground. Like when he's drawing that in the color, even though Brian's only half and half, what he draws is always in color. It's great. Okay. Another live at the same time tonight. Oh. Hi, Gloria. Nice to have you here. And Tamara and Larry and Angel and Gail. Yay. Oh no, Deirdre's unwell. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's so good to have you guys here. Thank you so much. Credit with sidewalk chalk art with holes in the ground. Yes. Oh, who is that guy that does that? Do you? Oh, Larry, that does the art in different places on the sidewalk, and it looks so real. It looks like real things there. I mean, people, oh, what's his name? I've seen videos of him on YouTube and some of his artwork in different places, like on Instagram, and they're just amazing. I cannot remember that guy's name, but that is exactly that. Okay, so get that out of the way. Now, the other book that I have for you guys is one that won a Caldecott, and it is by written and illustrated by somebody that we've seen before, and that's Dan Santat. And he did Beyond the Fall, the story of Humpty Dumpty, the one that we read. He did the illustrations for another recent one that we read. Let me get him up here. There we go. So is a New York Times best-selling author, illustrator of over 100 titles, which include The Adventures of Beagle, The Unimaginary Friend, which is the book I'm reading tonight, but won the Caldecott in 2015. Other titles are We There Yet?, After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got It Back Up Again, and also the creator of the Disney animated hit, The Replacements. He lives in Southern California with his wife, 2 kids, and various pets. He doesn't have much of it. His website is all on Tumblr, so that's what it is. After the fall, Rodzilla, Dad and the Dinosaur, The Cookie Fiasco, Are We There Yet? The Adventures of Beagle, Picture Day Perfection, Hansel and Gretel, Ninja Chicks, Ninja Red Riding Hood, The Three Ninja Pigs, Carnivores, Frankenstein Valentine, Frankenstein Because I'm Your Dad, Kel Jillian's Daredevil Stunt Show, Dog in Charge, Manners Mashup. He just has some great titles, absolutely great titles. Chicken Dance, oh my gosh. And he has The Secret Life of Walter Kitty, Guild of Geniuses. It's a Secret Life of Walter Kitty. That's a good one. Oh my gosh, that makes me laugh. Anyway, the book that I have to read today is called The Adventures of Beagle. And this is, let's see, overhead camera. I need to get you focused here. Come on. Come on, behave. Behave. There we go. I need a little more light for you guys for this one. Come here. There we go. Yeah. All right. So this is The Adventures of Beagle, An Imaginary Friend. Caldecott winner. And there, get you some more light. Let me get this. This one takes a little bit. Oh. There we go. There. Okay. Brightness. There. Yeah. Okay. Beagle. The Adventures of the Unimaginary Friend. I don't know about all of you guys, but I had those people that had imaginary friends, you know, like, what was it, Harvey the rabbit, that was from the Jimmy Stewart movie. Let's see, make this a little tall right there. And so my sister Sarah was always talking about Harvey after she had seen that movie, and I was never one to really have an imaginary friend. I guess I spent so much time in books that I didn't necessarily worry about imaginary friends because my books were all imaginary type things. But if you had an imaginary friend, maybe put its name in the chat. That would be fun to know. Beagle, the unimaginary friend. He was born on an island far away, where imaginary friends were created. Here they lived and played, each eagerly waiting to be imagined by a real child. Clever idea. Every night, he stood under the stars, hoping for his turn to be picked by a child and given a special name. He waited for many nights. But his turn never came. Hang on, you guys, let me check something here. Whoopsie, that's too dark. Where is it? Oh, that's not too dark. You can still see it. Yeah, that gives less glare. His mind filled with thoughts of all the amazing things that were keeping his friend from imagining him. So rather than waiting, He did the unimaginable. He sailed through unknown waters and faced many scary things. This is why it's such a good book for kids, even for adults. Face many scary things. But thinking about his friend gave him the courage to journey on until he reached the real world. The real world was a strange place. No kids were eating cake. No one stopped to hear the music. And everyone needed nap time. Then he finally saw something familiar. So he followed. He had a good feeling about this place, but he looked everywhere and he could not find his friend. He climbed to the top of a tree and looked out, wishing and hoping his friend would come. But no one came. He's still sitting up there on the top of the tree. He thought about how far he'd come and how long he'd waited, and he felt very sad. Then he heard a noise below. Hello? See, she's got stuck to that. He brings it down to her. Her face was friendly and familiar, and there was something about her that felt just right. At first, they weren't sure what to do. Neither of them had made a friend before, but after a little while, they realized they were perfect together. They're back and forth. Her name is Alice. Beagle? I'm Beagle. Hi, Beagle. Okay. He didn't have a name till she gave it to him. Look at that. Beagle and Alice had many new adventures. They shared their snacks. They told funny jokes. The world began to feel a little less strange. All the illustrations and everything. And together, they did the unimaginable. About this book is edited. Let's see. It's all about Beagle, his son Alec, at age 1. Had an imaginary friend named Beagle. I love all these imaginary friends in the beginning. How they all go to different places where they're waiting to be imagined by a real child. Pulled up. And then at the end, if you notice these guys that are here are back with them. It is sweet. it's the illustrations are just so such a beautiful way of transitioning and bringing it all in together, the dark and light that he did, and the crazy different kind of characters. Dan Santat does that. And that whole story of things that are unimaginable becoming real, and that kind of, I don't know. He sailed through unknown waters and faced many scary things. But thinking about his friend gave him the courage to journey on. Yeah. And this one. No kids were eating cake. No one stopped to hear the music, and everyone needed nap time. That kind of sad look to this picture and dull colors versus when they find the things to do and boom, the color happens. And they go on the adventure. Another one, another fun book. I hope you like that one. Let's see what you guys say. Oh yeah, Gloria had a lot of packing, unpacking. Went to dinner Friday and see for. Yes, Father's Day was the day my sisters and I left, and we met out at the beach, and we met at Mo Clips, and it was kind of busy in some of the places because we actually met in Ocean Shores first, and went to see a house that my nephew has built out there, and he has it up for sale, and then we went on our little. And it was just nice. We ended up down on the beach, and it was just beautiful, gorgeous, and it's good to just kind of relax and not have to. It was funny, like even if I had, I'm so glad that I had the premieres for you guys, because there, even with the internet at the hotel, they had Wi-Fi. Couldn't log on for the life of me. It was dead. And I have Verizon. And Sarah had AT&T, and she had some in certain places, but it was very odd. It's just, it was no. But I ended up took a drive and went up to Tahola, up to see the reservation to see if it had opened up. And one of my beaches that I like to photograph, the tribe still has that beach closed, so I have to wait till it's open or write to them to see when I can get permission to go in and photograph where I want to. But it was nice to get out there and see, just listen to the ocean waves all night long. All night long is pretty awesome. So, yeah, imagination, friendship, and being invisible. I think how they tied together in the little boy's drawing, the imagination that he had. His imagination is what really made him feel more visible. And yes, the friendship that came in, that the other boy, Justin, showed up and gave him compliments and stuff, but it was his creativity and his drawing and all of that gave him something to feel that it was himself. And he wasn't somebody else he had to be or something he had to pretend to. That was part of him. And I think that's what's so wonderful about imagination. I listened to a really interesting speech by Jim Carrey about how when he decided that he didn't have to act as someone else all the time, that it helped him with his depression. It helped him become him, and he could recognize when he was doing an act, and he didn't have to perform that all the time. And I think it's wonderful in these books where it shows kids and shows us when we read them about using our imagination and expressing ourselves as who we are. And this imaginary friend, unimaginary friend, who really helped that little girl connect with so much, and other people. I think they're fun. You can go layers deep in them, or you can look at the surface of them. I think that's what's wonderful about children's literature, is the surface level that you can look at them, or the layers deep, but also the artwork that it can just be imaginable. I found a book I had over here, I'd forgotten, that was the artwork of 6 different Caldecott winners, and I'll explain about it. So I'm really excited to share some of those over the next few weeks. One is with Robert McCloskey, who did Make Way for Ducklings, and then Maurice Sendak, and who did Where the Wild Things Are, and then Marsha Brown, and all hers. There's several different. There's 6 different artists. It's an older book. It's just really exciting. I was having a fun time looking at it and reading it and some things. So this is Wednesday, and I don't know what you guys have been doing in art, in your premieres or anything like that. I know, okay, so who has stuff coming up? If you could let us know in the chat, if anybody has anything coming up, just as life is. I need, those who don't believe in magic will never, those who don't believe in magic will never find it. Gail, I love that quote. Oh my gosh, I found quotes, this company that does journals and stuff like that, but the journals are handmade paper and stuff like that, and they were kind of cool, but the quotes that they were using were pretty cool. But that one, I read something the other day that I love. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it. Yeah. You're right. That's look for the beauty hidden in plain sight. Look for the magic. It's all right there. That book sounds cool. Fairy doors. Oh, Gail, this place I found, Gail, is sugarboo.co or Sugarboo and Company. They had fairy journals with leather-bound fairy journals. Oh, okay. They're just, let me see if I can find them. Sugarboo. Okay. Hang on just a second. I have to show you this because this, I thought, very, oops. OURNAL. There they are. Nope. Buried diaries. Here they are. Okay, I'll show you these. Quick. This is kind of, because you said that about fairies, and this is what I was looking at this company. So, because I've seen these. So these are, look at these. Come on. These are little tiny journals or little diaries. Yeah, there they are. They're fairy size. They have like handmade paper in them. Each one is differently made, I guess. They're only like $7.50, but they're just so cool. They're kind of a thick, like parchment paper, different kind of things. These guys had lots of different, I don't know if the paper's handmade in any of these. Each journal is sold individually and coloring on the binding can vary. So I thought that was a cute, and since you said fairies, I was laughing. That would make it sense. Yeah. Okay. Have fairy doors. Thank you, Larry. I'm glad to be home. Things. Yeah, it was a pretty magical place. There was fun to see. I didn't do a lot of photographing because I was spending so much time with my sisters, and we went to some different odd spots and things like that. And we were out during the middle of the day, and the light was obviously really bright, and that's not my favorite time to do that. So I just searched and took some. I'm feeling well, and I'm in slow motion was today too. Slow motion, you know what? Slow motion is telling you to stop and look around. You know, sometimes I think when we slow down, it's for a reason like that there's things that are needing to catch up. For me, I was slowing down with things, and I realized I don't need to add anything else to what I have. I actually sat down and made a list of stuff that I have still to do, and those things that I still have to do that I want to get done, I think that's, until I finish them, I realized I had to slow down and go, whoa, okay, let's take a look at these. Which one am I going to work at first, and work on that, and then I'll be done. But that also is going to wait until the grandkids are gone, because they're moving in a week and a half. So I'm spending every moment I can with them. Yes, Tamara, slow down, look around. Yeah, I know, aren't they adorable? Gail, just too cute. So, thank you for being here, being tolerant, being accepting of my fumbling back into it, being wonderful about just being here for me when giving me that break to be gone for a while. And I hope you enjoyed the stories. I saw comments from people. I saw you watch them. That was really awesome. Now I'm back at it, and it took me a while today to find these books that I wanted to read, and then this kind of came about, and I was like, oh, I was going through, I'd gotten Beagle out of the library, and I was like, oh, I found it. I didn't realize I'd had it there, and so that. And sometimes books hide themselves from me until it's time for them to come out. And I had my book that I have on that's going to go with national parks and camping, but it's hidden itself from me, so it's not ready to be read yet. So there's a couple other ones, and I also have a couple. I also want to bring in an author illustrator that I haven't read any of their things yet, and that's Aliki, very well-known illustrator author. So I have a couple books on the shelf of my own that are Aliki's, and we'll see where we go with that. And I also have a Charlotte Zolotow book on the seashore, which when I get my pictures, I do have some seashore pictures, and I think I'll bring with a Charlotte Zolotow book. She passed away in 2013. She was born in, I think 1914 or something like that. And I mean, one of my very first books as a child was a Charlotte Zolotow alphabet book. And she's just amazing. So I have a seashore book to share with you guys for that. So I've got some things in the works, and I needed to get back in live so that I can get myself recharged and everything. And yeah, and you'll probably so I'll be back tomorrow night, and then Saturday morning Layla and Lachlan are coming back out for an overnighter. So Saturday night you'll probably get appearances with Layla and Lachlan. Layla might want to do the story with me because it'll probably be her last chance before they move to Phoenix. But they are doing a packing. Her mom and dad are doing major packing this weekend, and so we're taking the kids, and it's going to be a heat wave this weekend, so that'll be fun, beach time. But until then, let's keep rolling. Send some art. I'll probably show that Friday. Show me what you've been doing. Let us know if you have any premieres or anything coming up. I know Larry and Angel, I think you have another one on Sunday again, is it? Or yes. And I think Nathan probably has his on Saturday. after mine. And until then, though, one step at a time, like you said, Tamara, one step at a time. It is a little bit to move aside, step aside. I have all these friends right now who are like, it's summertime, I'm going to get all this done. And I'm like, I'm just going to, I tend to, summer was always the time that I didn't want to try to get everything done because I was so go, go, go all year long, the school year, that summer would come and I would be on the go with my kids all the time. So I would kind of chill about everything else, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, you try. You can do it. No try, only do. Was it that Yoda? Larry's probably going to go, no, Gretchen, you don't have your Star Wars things right. Probably wrong. Everybody, it's a blessing to be back with you. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. I know that it's right here in the chat. So go look in the mirror, say hi to beautiful, and then enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much. There.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Ooh, feeling alright. We won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous, we could be famous. Come and be famous. You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual. Yeah, you don't even try, not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal.